The seed of a dream Armin was born in a small, forgotten village where opportunities were rare. His family struggled daily just to find food. Most children around him accepted this life as their destiny, but Armin had something different in his eyes. He often looked at the stars and whispered, "One day I will go beyond these fields." His friends laughed at him and called him a dreamer. Even his father said, "Son, dream less, work more." But those words never killed the fire burning inside him. At night, while everyone slept, he sketched his vision on scraps of paper. Sometimes those sketches were of schools, sometimes of companies, sometimes of airplanes. Nobody saw the value in his imagination, but deep inside, Armin believed those seeds would one day grow. He did not know how or when, but he believed. And belief was the only wealth he carried. That belief would soon become his weapon. The first storm life, however, is never kind to dreamers. Armin failed his first big school exam. The teacher held up his paper and mocked him in front of everyone. The teacher said, "Dreams cannot save you from failure." The whole class laughed. That humiliation followed him home. He cried under his blanket, wishing to disappear. His mother hugged him gently and said, "A crying won't change your life, rising will." Those words stayed with him. The next morning he returned to school with swollen eyes, but a sharper resolve. He decided failure would not end him. It would train him. He studied with borrowed books. He worked through the nights when candles were his only light. He fell again, but each time he rose faster. The storm was painful, but it started shaping his strength. The grind of hunger. Armin's father lost his job one harsh winter. The family had no money for food. Armin took small jobs, cleaning streets, carrying bricks, selling newspapers. While others mocked his poverty, he quietly saved coins. Those coins didn't go to clothes or sweets. They went to books and learning. He studied while sitting near street lamps. Cold winds froze his fingers, but not his determination. Sometimes he skipped meals so he could buy paper to write on. His friends thought he was foolish, but Armin knew hunger was temporary, knowledge was permanent. He carried heavy loads in the day and heavier dreams at night. Every insult from others became fuel in his fire. Every moment of hunger taught him resilience. This grind became his silent preparation for greatness. The breaking point one day, all his efforts seemed wasted. He lost his last job. He had no money left, no food to eat. Under the heavy rain, Armin sat alone, crying. He shouted at the sky, "Why me? Why always me?" He thought about giving up on everything. But then he remembered his mother's words again. "A God does not test the weak, he tests the chosen." Those words pierced his broken heart. He stood up, soaking wet, and whispered, "Break me as much as you want, but I will not stop walking." That night was his true transformation. It was no longer about comfort or survival. It was about proving that pain could create power. Failure was no longer his enemy. It was his teacher, and Armin decided to learn from every lesson. The small wins. Armin started again from the bottom. This time he worked smarter. He learned skills, writing, speaking, business basics. He found mentors who guided him through his struggles. He practiced daily, even when no one believed in him. His first attempt at business failed, but he learned discipline. His second attempt failed, but he learned patience. And his third attempt began to grow. He saw his first small success. It was not money, it was confidence. With every small win, his belief grew stronger. The same people who once mocked him now started noticing. They asked, "How are you still standing after so many failures?" Armin simply smiled and kept working. He knew the small wins were building his future empire. The big breakthrough years of effort finally started paying off. Armin launched a company with the little resources he had. It began in a small room with just 2 old computers, but his passion gave life to every project. Investors laughed at him, but one finally gave him a chance. That one chance changed everything. His ideas began to work. Slowly, his business grew. The boy who once carried bricks now carried responsibilities. He provided jobs to dozens of people. The same streets that had mocked him now cheered his name. He was no longer running from hunger. He was feeding others. His breakthrough was not luck. It was built on scars. Every failure, every hunger, every tear had shaped this moment, and Armin finally tasted victory. The legacy. Armin didn't stop at success. He knew true greatness was not just about himself. He built schools for poor children. He created scholarships for dreamers like him. He helped build homes for the homeless. He taught others to believe in their pain. He reminded them that scars are not shame, they are strength. People across the nation began to look up to him. His story spread far and wide. He became a symbol of resilience. But in his heart, he was still that hungry boy under the streetlight. He never forgot the nights of tears. He never forgot the hands of his mother and father. His legacy was not wealth, it was hope. And that hope would outlive him. The final message, standing before a crowd of thousands, Armin shared his truth. He said, "A failure is not the end. Hunger is not the end. Pain is not the end. They are only the beginning of something bigger." He told the audience about the nights he cried. He told them about the days he worked without food. He told them about the laughter of those who mocked him. And he told them how all of it made him who he was. He ended with these words, "Do not quit when life hits you. Do not surrender when the world mocks you. Because one day the story you are living in pain will be the story someone else lives in hope." The crowd stood and clapped for minutes. Tears rolled down faces. The boy who once failed had now become a teacher of millions. And his final message was clear. Your failures are not your ending. They are the beginning of your destiny.